07 StarCitizens. X-Wings X speaking. This is a medical tutorial to get you into the profession or the game loop of this amazing part and aspect of this game. This is an in-depth to the fullest, and I try to cover pretty much every aspect of what is needed for you to be and to become a medic. When it comes to how to utilize the pens, the Medpen, which loadout you need on your gear, what kind of a gear, what armor that could be cool, what kind of ships there are currently in the game, and which ships will be in the game. It is actually quite a long tutorial. I usually try to be a bit more concise as this game loop, this profession is very dear to me. I really want to do it as profound as possible as I can. And remember to like, share, and comment if this video is useful for you. I want to understand first the places we're coming from. So we have stations, this place is here to drop your imprints and you do your work and your clinics on. You have the big clinics in each of the main city. If you want to bring in or hear yourself a patient, check on the welcome desks and you get straight a room where you can get income to heal your wounds or restore your water and your nutritions in case you can't be bothered eating something or drink some of the food waters we're having in the game. Over here you find the pharmacy. This is actually one of the first places we want to go and we want to listen to on what we actually need here. These are those Medpens. The Adrenopen reduces concussion symptoms, normalizes weapon handling and the movement speed. You had a headshot, you can use those and you see clear forward again. So this is a good thing to have always, all the time on your armor because you're not always able to use your MedGun. The Medpen is quick health recovery and as well is reviving people that have been shot down that are incapacitated. The Detox Research area is here to revives an overdose person if it's not incapacitated and it doubles the decay rate of the blood drug level. Oxypen, super simple, gives you oxygen in your suit. It's just emergency, it doesn't fill it all up. Then we have the Opiopen. It reduces pain symptoms and normalizes movement abilities. This needs to be used in combination when you have limbs injury tier 1. Okay, the Corticopen, Stereogen, the orange one, reduces vision and hearing symptoms and normalizes your stamina. So if you have a limb tier 1, you use this green one and the orange one for example. So that's why I have always those with me. The Paramed medical device, the Cure Life tool, you want to have with you at any given situation because this is what can you use in a normal state. When you have no injuries and no stuff, it's the best because it can do anything. The green ones are the refills. Really important to have those with you, but I still can tell you one of them lasts you for a very, very long time. The Lifeguard medical attachment and the Lifeguard refill, this you can put into your multi-tool. Currently I don't consider them useful because all leg armors can carry a MedGun and a multi-tool. So you better keep whatever you need in your multi-tool. Your tractor beams, for example, which I consider the most important things to bring. For the times when things are not turn out well, you need to have a location where you place your imprints, a spawn point. And these are Olympus Principal Insurance. Where this state are, where this kiosk are underneath, there you can drop your spawn point. And the kiosk work as pretty much all the things as well, and every now and then they are a little bit cheeky as you just saw, but that doesn't really matter in the end because here you see I have my current location set here. You see where your primary residence is. If you don't have any location set somewhere on a space station or on a ship, then you will always respond back to your primary residence. Depending where this is, this means a lot of riding with trams, which is cool, but every now and then you just want to move out. And when it comes to move out, we need to make sure we have the proper outfits. I wear light armor when I'm going out, the Lynx armor. I use the P8SC and I bring a max tractor lift for medical purposes. The helmet I'm wearing is a heavy helmet, 40% protection for your head. I bring a sidearm, the LH86 with a silencer, and the Delta sight, same with the P8SC. Some flares to mark the place I am at night time, which actually helps. Then we bring a multi-tool with a tractor beam in it. Enough ammo for your main gun. I usually bring around 20 magazines, plus the medical jelly for your MedGun, some drinks to bring, some ammo for your sidearm, and oxypen, which I don't put on my core armor, but those pens get to the armor. The Adreno pen, the Optical pen, a Medpen, and the Cortico pen. Remember, we need those in case we have a tier 1 injury. And you want to have those attached to your core, so you press 4, you get the pen out, and you can administer it fast and whatever happened to you. Remember the green and the orange one if your limbs are stuck and you can't fly ships anymore and hold weapons or your MedGun. So those 4 are, for your own sake, very important. Okay, which medical vehicle to use right now? We will have quite an emphasis on the Cuttlass Red from Drake. There are others to use. There is the Carrack, which is a tier 2 bed in it. The 890 Jump has a tier 2 bed in it. And a C8R has a tier 3, like the Drake Cuttlass Red. I will speak to all of those, as well to the NURSA, to the Medivac version of the URSA. But for now, we want to focus a little bit on the Cuttlass Red, because for now it is really the way to go if medical work is what you want to do a lot. But there are other options and we will look into that. But for now, let's look at the Cuttlass Red. 2 medical beds that you can use. Behind this you have 2 beds where you can sleep in. Those medical beds you can access here, and you lie down and they will instantly refill all your food and the nutrition that you're wearing. With medical care you can press treatments, and if you have injuries you can treat yourself in it, or the patients can come in here and get treated. The other cool thing is the medication. You can have auto medication. You see all the things that we have pens as well. And if then with auto medications, the station administers what you want to do. If you turn it off, you can do it by yourself. And you see the blood duct level will increase without the residuuria, the detoxing. It says, pay attention. Okay, so be careful administering drugs. We will get into that. What happens when you do this? Is it on yourself or on others? Yet there is more to those beds. As you leave the medical part, you can go to regeneration and you can set your spawn point, your imprint. This is possible on the tier 3 bed, which then you have a spawn point with you for a range about 20 kilometers. With a tier 2 bed, which means Carrack or the 890 Jump, at the present moment I have a range of 50 kilometers where you will respawn back on those ships. You have the administer button where you can remove this. That's pretty good actually to do, but remember to drop your imprint again on a station or another place where you actually want to be. Leaving the bed, like with all the beds, press Z or just movement and get out, and you are good to go for the next thing. We have an airlock here which helps you to escape or get out quickly off the ship is needed, as well for all the space stuff that you need to do, and we can go forward into the habitation area. Here are 2 lockers which are accessible for everybody. So what you do in here, everybody can get stuff out of it. You have a weapon rack and 2 more beds, a chair for people to sit in. Now the co-pilot seats, as we have no rockets, no missiles on the ship or any turrets, but we have another nice thing to go for. This is a floodlight or a searchlight. In the beginning they might be a bit hard to find. You turn them on and then you look for the turrets that is on the left hand side, and as you have it you get in, and then you can start using your searchlight on in every way you want, and it is pretty bright, so you'll see and you as well get seen. Remember that. Press set to exit the turret, leave the chair and go into the pilot's chair, which is of course the one in the very front. And don't forget to turn off the searchlight. It can be annoying if it's on all the time. Right now a bit of a creep to find every now and then, but you get out of the chair and you hop into the pilot's chair, where we see our next part. Why the Cuttlass Red is actually quite impressive, because it has something unique. You have the most possible MFDs. These are the multifunctional displays, all the stuff you see right in front of us from all the ships. So that's quite nice to utilize and to make it possible in different ways. You have as well a VTOL possibilities, which is something pretty cool, especially for those who want to fly decoupled. And all those who want to learn more about decoupled, please check my video that is on display right here. Decoupled adds a lot of fun to this game. Oh, with this rather big excursion onto the Drake Cuttlass Red, we are ready to get out. And of course, first we want to do a short excursion on the other medical options you have in the game. Other options are, as I said before, to get a Karak, which is slightly more expensive meanwhile to get in-game. But it's amazing exploration vessel. It has a tier 2 medical bag. This garage where you can see you can put your land vehicles in, and you have another hangar to fit a small vehicle like the C8R, which makes you a very capable rescue ship. The cool thing as well on a C8R, you can spawn it at any outpost. So it's a ship to get pretty quick, and you can retrieve it within 1.5 minutes until you have to pay your claim. The claim time itself is 4.5 minutes, so it is a very quick claim if you need to move around fast. The cool thing on the Ursa Medivac, the Ursa as it's called, it fits in many other ships. It's the same size as an Ursa, so you can put it in a Corsair, a 600i, an MSR, and you basically make out of the ship you already have a medical version out of it. So this is an option. And of course there is more. I personally really can't wait till we have the RSI Galaxy, which you see here, which will be modular. It has 3 different modules. This is the medical module. There will be as well a hangar module and a cargo module. So it is now, it's still in concept. And I look very much forward to have this medical variant as a mothership sitting in space while doing all the other things on the ground with it. We will see how it goes as well in atmosphere. I look very much forward to try out that ship. And then there is the other version that will definitely replace the Cuttlass Red, at least for me. That is the Apollo Medivac, so to say, as well, from RSI. So this is medical future that will be, well, I hope will be here soon. Let's get on with it. More medical stuff coming up. Now we are out on Danbro Canyon, a nice environment to just practice in our medical skills. So you grab the body, you drag it in, and even if it's a bit limpy, especially when it is your friends, I mean, it's okay to shake them around a little bit. You pull them in, you see how perfectly this STV is placed. You can walk around without any glitches, move in and lift your patient into the medical bed. Check your posture and make sure you don't hurt your back. You see as perfectly as this guy is doing that, having a straight back at any given moment. Wonderfully done. Then you can go add to the display, which is at the present moment not doing a lot, because as soon you have your incapacitated patient on the medical bed will bring him back to consciousness, and he can then click by itself to heal his tier 3 injuries in this bed, or the tier 2 injuries in the Karak, or the tier 1 back in the hospitals. And of course you can use as well a tractor beam to bring your people into the ship. They're anyway on the medbed, so don't worry about the doors and the walls. Alright, next lesson. Medication, self-medication and medicating others. That's the moment when you have just a tier 3 bed, but a tier 1 injury, as we have now on our right arm. We need Dextrine and Roxafen to treat the muscle relief, the muscle fatigue, and the pain. If you press auto medication here, the bed will administer the drugs by itself. Of course, you can do it manually. What you see right now is how your blood drug levels raising, and you see this green indicator on the bottom left hand side on your arm. This means now that this part has symptomatic medications, which makes you able to move around as normal and do all the stuff as normal. When this green part is gone again, then will you again unable to hold a weapon, to shoot your MedGun and do all the things with your hand. You see, I can move now clearly and freely now and again after I put this into the body. 75% is 5% before you start to get intoxicated. Keep that number in mind. Now, this is why this is important, because if you have a tier 1, you can't fly your ship out. That's why you always have, if you don't have a medbed with you, your green and your orange pen with you, because with a tier 1 you can't fly away, you can't take off with your ship, you can't pilot the ship. This green bar, a bar that you see, will allow you to fly a ship for about 15 to 20 minutes. So this is exactly what you need to find a clinic or a better medbed to make sure that you're healthy again. Okay, and you see I just could take off and land easily even with that injury. Therefore, always bring an orange and a green pen. Otherwise, you will call for a medic that supports you on that, because you will not be able to administer any drugs with your MedGun when you have a tier 1 injury. Medic is the way, and we are on hold for your call. And when you delete some footage, you have to redo it, and then it looks slightly different. So, the MedGun, how to use it? You press F5 and you put it in your hand. With weapon down side, right hand button, you get it in here. When you aim for it, you see how the injury levels are of a person. Green, healthy; orange, not good; red, really bad. Press right button to aim for it, and then you can just fire and it will heal the person. Pressing F, you go to basic and advanced, and you can adjust the what amount of medications you want to administer to the person or to yourself. Then press B, you aim it for yourself. You can use it on yourself. This is only possible if you have maximum a tier 2 injury. After that, it's not possible anymore. You can as well use the advanced mode to do self-medication the way you wanna, and you see how your blood drug level rises when you do that. Remember, past 75% you get intoxicated, and we'll look into that later. And if you wanna use the MedGun on someone else, it looks like this. So you're incapacitated, the other person comes for you and aims at you, and with this you get up, you can do some yoga, this is a Chiranga, and after a good stretch you're up. You fill up your health that might be need a little bit, and you're good to go. And of course, we can use those MedGuns for a variety of purposes. We can drug others, which is, for the pirates among us, a nice way to knock out a pilot out of his pilot chair when you sneaked onto his ship without being noticed. Of course, I haven't said this, but I tell you, it's fun to do. And way much more fun than just shooting him out of a chair. So you saw I adjusted the lines of it, the medications that we are giving, and now you see how the blood ox level goes up on the top right hand.
100%.
Now please, sir,
here we go.
come to me, come to me. Let's have a stroll over here. Yeah, walk on the straight line. Okay, follow my hand movement. Sir, I don't think that you're still able to fly a spaceship. Well, I highly recommend you to have a good nap and try not to abuse these kind of dogs for recreational purposes. All right. Oh, you see, yeah, they're already aggressive. Oh, I saw it. It was to be expected. Sir, calm down. Calm down.
No, okay.
Or
God.
Or I will.
People need to get slapped.
Oh God. Here we go. Wiggs is using aggressive fire.
Sure. Medics are allowed to defend themselves against
There we go,
hostile
I'm in
people. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
That was
Good.
brilliant.
Thank you so much for this. And
They're just gonna leave me here and fly away.
yeah, packing all the ships away and. Place you on the bed.
I can see
And have
Wings
you seen when you put it on the bed? It even holds the back properly, right, in a proper position.
Yeah. They've done that really well.
Okay, so you're back in there, sir.
Yep.
And I think
Got a tier something leg injury, but that's okay.
you're gonna be sober within a second, and then you can reconsider the action and say sorry. With a tier 1 injury on your hand, you walk around like this. This is a arm injury that I'm having, and still it affects the whole body, and you really have a hard time moving. Let's look into how to use those pens on yourself. Pressing 4 brings up your Medpens. Pressing and holding 4 brings up the radial menu where you can choose which Medpen you wanna use. I use just the orange one, and now it's throwing the green one on top. Now you see my blood drug level is 72%, and I have that green bar there to tells me that I'm actually able to walk again for a certain amount of time. Adding another Medpen on top makes me intoxicated as I pass the blood drug level of 75%. And it's really nicely made and a nice feature to play around with. The clinic, and then get onto the kiosk, choose your room, or try to choose your room, and get ready to reduce your blood drug level and your tier 1 injury at the clinic. Don't harass the nurses, they are working there. They don't have recreational fun as we are currently having. Try to find your room, lie down, and get fixed up again. The moment of sobering up, it goes really well on the Medbeds. Your blood drug level goes down very fast, and you have time to use the medical care to treat your injury. And after this, we're gonna be good. And we are at the end of this medical video, and I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the depth that it actually had and the details. It is one of my passions to play the medical gameplay. That's why I do such an extended video version on it. I try usually to be as concise as possible, but here I just really want to cover as much as you can. Please like, share, and subscribe. 07 StarCitizen, we see us out in the world. Medic is the way. What we are seeing here is a rescue mission that occurred on Clio. That's on Microtech. It's a really, really beautiful planet to fly in when it's nice weather. It has this nice tainted greenish look on it. No atmosphere, so make sure to bring your helmet. And let's see what we're supposed to do. As we are approaching, we are finding a prospector on mining grounds here, and we see at instant a body is outside of it lying on the ground. So whatever happens, it doesn't do them very well. We are already informed that it has a tier 3 injury, so we need to bring it in onto the medical bed anyways, so we are not going to use the MedGun right here, which definitely could be a proper and very well workable solution to do that, because the patient can walk in by itself. But for the purposes of this video, we actually decided to drag the person in and see how we are going on with this. Other things that can occur is actually latency and how other players are connecting, or desync that could have happened, which can make these things quite a challenge, because every now and then, yeah, that connection is not as fast as you are supposed to be, and some flipping and flopping around can happen. But until here, it actually worked quite well. And with a couple of more drags, we could pull it in and finally make sure that this guy goes where it went. So you put them on the Medbeds and they were getting bad. Well, that was a bit of too much of levitation here. So yeah, he landed well and he's healed. And we received a nice tip. Thank you so much again. It was overall a very good experience again. And here, just on the side, many people say Med game is dead, everything's a trap and all this. Not true. I have a whole sheet, which you can find here, that shows you how little traps there actually are. Most of the time, you complete and you can get through, you have fun, and you create a really cool additional game loop that is, at the present moment, not as well paid, but definitely worth going for. Medic is the way. So thank you for watching, and thank you to SSFL and all the support I got for this video. We see us out in the world. Stay safe. 07 StarCitizens.